It's Uncle BJ. We're outside today, kids. I'm out walking, just doing a couple errands. So I said, well, let me bring the kids along with me. Excuse my uh, lens. It looks a little dirty, but hey, it is what it is. I thought I cleaned it before I turned the camera on. All right, so we're outside. We're walking, and I'll record a little bit before I get to my destination. Here's a nice old apartment building. All right, so you guys know that when somebody is approaching, I try not to record. So, oh well, you can see the apartment building right there. I'd say this is probably, I don't know. Oh, look at those beautiful bay windows. It's probably 1900s, early 1900s. Look at those arch windows right there. Nice. Yeah. Now here's the homes coming up on the corner. These are gorgeous. Look at the garden. I guess because I grew up in South Florida, and everyone around our way used to take such good care of their lawns, and most of the city, tell you the truth, and so where I lived, took good care of their lawns. So it's just nice to see when other people do the same. Up north, most people don't have huge yards, but it's nice to see when people take care of them, the yards that they have. Now these people right here, they got some work to do. I don't even know if this house is occupied. This could be a fixer-upper if anyone's in the market. But that's a big one. Houses like that are usually somewhere in the... Oh, it's got an addition in the back too? A two-story addition? Yeah, houses like that are usually in the 3,500 square foot. But with that addition, and then if you include the unfinished basement, well, it could be well over 5,000 square feet. Look at the colors. Beautiful. We have nothing like this where I grew up in South Florida. Down in South Florida, where I'm from, originally, if something is... Look at the columns on that. That's an apartment building too. Yeah, down in South Florida, where I'm from, if something is more than like 50 years old, it's considered ancient. But here in the Northeast, because it's one of the oldest parts of the country, you get buildings that are 200, 250, possibly even 300 years old. I think in New York they have some old wooden structures that are over 300 years old. But we're in Philadelphia, so. All right, we're crossing the street. And then, now this building that's on the, oh, but first, before we do that, look at these. Isn't that beautiful? Very nice. Now this building right here that I'm focusing on, this was completely renovated about 5 years ago. So they redid the facade and did a pretty good job. And they kept some of the original integrity. There's always a battle worldwide when buildings need to be redone. You know, how much do you keep? How much do you lose? This is interesting. This was an old house, and they incorporated it into the larger apartment building. Very interesting. At any rate, what I was trying to say is that there's always an ongoing debate of how much do you keep, how much do you not, and it's always a challenge. Around here, most people keep most of the original facades, and some that's mandated by either the Neighborhood Historic Society or the city or some community group. But one day I'll take a walk and show you guys this awful building that was constructed. There's actually a few of them in the area. new apartment buildings constructed in the last 2 to 3 years, and they just throw up anything, no regard for the architecture of the neighborhood. And here's my thing: I've always been a big fan of architecture, so in my personal opinion, a brand new building doesn't have to mimic the architecture of the neighborhood. But I always say this, and I'll say it forever: there's a brand new class of architects graduating from university every single year. Why do we keep getting all these hideous buildings around the country, especially when it comes to new apartment buildings? Now, I've watched a few videos where they talked about the cost effectiveness of building a certain way. But even with cost effectiveness, I've seen projects done on various YouTube channels and Instagram channels that I follow, and some web design, some architectural design pages I follow, where people have done amazing homes, apartment buildings, office buildings on very tight budgets. You just have to have the will and the desire to do so. So that's my rant for today. I'm almost at my destination here to run my errands. So I'm going to end this video. But I want to thank you guys for your attention. It's August. It's actually the last week of August. So I don't know how many more of these I'll do, but we'll see. I haven't been doing the outdoor videos. I've been recording more in the house, but I like this. Look at that beautiful sky back there. Anyway, it's Uncle BJ. I hope you guys are happy and well fed and well loved. And I hope you like yourselves and love yourselves. Love your family and your friends and your neighbors. And be kind to yourself and to others. Peace.